That was a little bit of a puzzle.
It's going for a long time.
So they took it pretty well. So I did this interview with Salretta Antaria, and it was I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the conference, and I got this message on Facebook, would you like to do an interview? And I was like, yeah, because at that point I was all excited, maybe a little overzealous. So we did this interview, and the two of us exchanged a light speech, and it was very powerful. And all of a sudden I started getting these people that were very interested in what I do, very interested in the light language, very interested in learning how they can unlock their own. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I gotta say, most of these people were like us, and I was like, I'm kind of shocked that we have all these people that are interested in this. I didn't know there were very, very many people that spoke at all. So I started this YouTube channel, and I kept getting these channels. And one of the channels I got was from Archangel Michael, and him and I go way back. But there was this incredible day. I spent a series of months when I was meditating very, very deeply, 3 to 4 hours a day. And I broke through a lot of barriers, I broke through a lot of resistance, and I was able to really connect with my primary guides. And it seemed that they would come in pairs. It would be, the first one was a earth spirit by the name of Satawak, who appears as a Sasquatch. He's not a Sasquatch, but he appears as one. He is very ancient. And then there was this very tall feline being that I didn't realize until maybe a year later. It was a Syrian, and that is Salahim. And they would teach me, Satawak would teach me about things with the earth itself and how things worked with Gaia. And Salahim would teach me cosmic things. Like I asked him, how does a planet come into existence? And he said, well, there are infinite ways, but why don't I tell you this one? Again, it's intent. There has to be intent to create this planet, to create this being. The planetary consciousness, however it got there, needs to have its intent. That's what starts to formulate the physical nature of the planet. And I said, well, how does the atmosphere and everything get started? And he showed me these 4, I want to call them machines or devices, these metaphysical devices. I don't know what they are. But they were these squares up on each corner, and they were broken down. They had this incredible array of fluorescent, vivid colors in all these sacred geometrical patterns that would morph. And if you looked at it, if you took a picture, halfway through the picture, it had already changed 5 times. And they were placed metaphysically in the higher dimensions inside the planetary body. And what that did, in conjunction, operating together, these 4 devices, created the frequencies which would allow microbial life to begin, and thus creating a chain reaction in the atmosphere. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So those are the types of things that I got from him. As it went a little bit farther, I started seeing Arcturians, a little guy like this big and another one really tall, again in pairs. They flew over the house one time. I was in a meditation, and I heard this voice come through, would you like to go outside? We'd like to show you something. I opened my eyes. It was 11:11 at night. I ran outside, and I sat out. It was a beautiful summer evening. I sat down on the walk, and this nice little golden scout ship comes over. And I'm there, I'm excited, and I'm waiting to connect. And it kept going, and nothing. I'm like, oh, I didn't feel anything, like, bummer. They turned right back, and it must have been, all right, wise ass. They cranked up and hit the button, and just about knocked the wind God, I mean, I was frantically running around the yard hoping that somebody saw that too. The ship powered up 2 or 3 times, and my neighbor, who is an open person, he's like, John, you gotta calm down. I said, I thought you were gonna pass out. I go, I thought I was gonna levitate. So it just continued, and like I said, I developed these relationships with these beings, and as it seemed as though I left junior high, I got into high school, and now I'm in a graduate class, and Archangel Michael and Archangel Ariel are the most recent teachers that I've had. Not that they haven't been with me all along, but what's interesting is Michael asked me to do a video describing his story in the ancient tongue using his ancient name. And he asked me if I would share it with you guys today. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
His name is Mihekake. Beto do tutoy, shishakwa zibibia kwa elewinyan na tutuya bete. Toy hay yahon na mamako, yabi to shishama zibia to the mama. Lanana no kwa shishasa beta to the other. Kwa hiena misa is yabwa ala to kishisaba. Sa ai yamwa keto to kofoba. Jishazini alawigeba aba kenon kwa shishama maki mi hekake. Lohan na moasi, jitwa she mapeke, lo tutuka shishan, me lo tutuka shija, natika. So shishama, so kwasi ni na mai la toisia. Sa ya wada komedi, tutuka shishama masini, na tutuka mama, ne kwa hata da hasati, ya tutuka mama ne. No, bebe shishama makote, kata tutuka shishama, sishwa, shikota kemi makota ki, seta kwa sama, letia dane. Kochishama kosa azi la tu kakya matu tu koshishe mi hekake la tu kosa ma la na sa kosa tu kakya la sa temi dito shishama ka sa me lai zoisha ka pepe la tu ku la ma no moasha kita tu kushi me kya ya lo shishe me kya ka wahya la du tidika la ma ka chisha ma ezija zo ka la tu ni ha te be Oshini nenuanse pikia, lohanda ki kwe, ya tose mita ki. Tu krishi shemame, sikshusha, shemi, mi hekake, Dodoy, tijisha, zeswa, sha, zisukododo, shin nananwasi, zesin nananaike. Swasi Zosana Kiatato, Shasin Namaya Lai, Tutuko Fokomai, Shazapi Tutukia Momwa, Tikichisha Sapi Katahane, Nea Lotukumai, Jai Sapi Kuala Tutukomai, Nihai, Niatutukai. Dia tutos shasimime la tutukabe la tutakahan na chisha azepi ko anante ko hanan na mishisi sa vahi mohan na kita to bakiti chisha sa zai la shisin wa ko halamia kata de peka de duwa shisia a na tutuko da bebe ke tutuko na chisha sa alwa ko che moto Manusia shisapiti, Kakaila Tatuba, Kanamamua shisi na me. And let to do shisa makwata, Kwahya, the Tutukoshisa, Mianana, Mianade, Miatutu. There are times to be a warrior, there are times to be a dove. It takes equal strength to be both. Richie. Do you guys have any questions? Or good?
sometimes all the way to casting something out, but mostly you're using it for prayer for the soul. But wow, you're just really deep in your vocabulary. Really, I want more. That's why you're here.
I am doing a workshop tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So, and in the workshop, we also do the activation exercise. We have over a 95% success rate with people speaking for the very first time.
Yeah, I've been like here and there, something just goes through me, and I spout off and kind of return it. I'm like, yeah, I want
Thank you.
this.
Yes.
Wondering, when you're speaking, I'm guessing that you understand physical first, or is it kind of an extensive?
Yes. Can I? The intent during Michael's story. Yes, there's a word-for-word translation. However, it's also layered, so there's a lot of expression in the higher dimensionality as well. So there's a lot of images that come along with that. It's like I said earlier, it's kind of what I see is it's kind of like a movie in my third eye, and it's very clear, very vivid. And there's audio as well. I hear the whole thing. It's flowing right through. Yes, you can focus through your intent through word-for-word translation. So very often, I kind of just push that aside because it's focusing multidimensionally. Just leaves that in the dust. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's just more of the natural state of the expression than to try and break it down into nuts and bolts. There are physical aspects to it. Yes, but they're minute in comparison to the vast array that the rest of the languages represent. Did that answer your question? Elizabeth?
Thank you. Actually, she asked
Your question?
but the other part is just that. And so in that, I was, and I'm kind of saying this, as a comment, maybe as a question in here, that I was getting something that felt like it was specific for us at this time, but it might just be me. It might, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the codes and the individuality of the codes. They are, each and every one of you received precisely what you placed in your packet, on your letter, what you wrote to yourself. So you're going to resonate at whatever is what you designed divinely for this moment here and now. Now, these energies that we transmitted back and forth, as I express, I feel your energy in return. It's not one-sided. It creates a vortex, and I very often see the energy spinning. We do it when we do circle here. Very often, I'll see a column around us, and it's very similar. The speech itself, you know, containing these different codes, but they're different codes for each and every one. Yes.
I heard frequencies from several different languages that exist on Earth right now.
That's very common. My answer to that is maybe that's where those languages came from.
That's what I thought too.
You know, it's because there's people that will say, my primary dialect, they'll say, I hear Hebrew, I hear French, I hear Native American. My answer is yes. Any other questions? Yes.
I went through a stage where I was full gospel Baptist, and they were speaking in tongues, and I remember I wanted so much to speak in tongues, and so I would go and I would say stuff, and I was passionate about whatever I was saying. But when I got out of that stage, I felt like maybe it was just my imagination and gibberish and all that stuff. And so I have when I first started hearing you talk about light language, it spooked me a little bit because I was thinking, I don't know, but I feel you. So I'm not sure.
You're feeling my intent. Very often, I mean, the structured churches and things like that, I don't resonate with them. It seems to me that they put a ceiling on it, they allow you to learn it, get that skill, and they stop you in second gear. You know, where there are no Jews. And like I said, it's within each and every one of us. Are you an evil person? I have a hard time believing that. So therefore you can express your language. You know, let's not say evil, let's just say negative frequency. You know, but that's an interesting thing you brought up as well, is because you had your ego speaking to you. You know, yeah, we all go through this, and that is the key. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. The heart, quiet the ego mind, quiet the intellect, come down into the heart, allow yourself to be vulnerable. That is your power, that is your truth, that is your true emotion running down to the center of us. Vulnerability is not vulnerability in that aspect. I find it really important that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a two-part question. One, do you ever feel like you can read an ancient language, like Neoform or hieroglyphics?
In our group, we have a lot of people that write light language into the symbols, and yes, I can read some of it. I don't resonate with all of it because maybe it's not meant for me. Do I recognize it for what's fake and what's real? I do. Some I may not resonate with, or may not resonate with right away. However, like the people I'm very close with in a metaphysical aspect, when they do their writings, they light me up just as much as when I do an activation for them, and it's an energy exchange. What was the second part?
Yeah, when you look at ancient artifacts, do you receive information that or because and or let's see, how can I put this? We just returned from Egypt, and you answered a question that I had posed, so this is beautiful. Because looking at the hieroglyphics, there is the intelligence interpretation of what it means, and they have certain phonetic sounds. But looking at these symbols, and I'm brilliant that you're also Carmen Walter did a great job of presenting the multi-dimensional information in the symbol, but I feel like, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but words seem primitive, and what you seem to be communicating is almost like resonance.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frequency. It's allowing ourselves to tap into these frequencies. This is our natural state. Like when I did the silly story, you know, everybody smiled. Those are frequencies that are very natural to us, and that's why it feels so good when we're resonating on those levels. Now, to answer your question, the ancient artifacts, I think everything that's physical can contain memory. Barry has this particular stone. He handed it to me yesterday and said, "What do you get from this?" And I was holding it for a little while, and very often if I take a piece, and I've done this many times, if I take it and I put it in front of my third eye, I look back at him, I go, "It's a data pack." And he just starts laughing. You know, I picked up crystals and I've seen the flood. I've seen, you know, things like that. I think that's another ability I think that we all can do. And again, it's allowing ourselves to do these things, allowing ourselves to remember who we are. Who am I? Where did I come from? And why am I here? I really needed to answer those questions, and light language answered those questions. Indirectly, directly. Because what it did is it opened up aspects of myself that I had forgotten even existed. And I think that's the key, is to remember. We're not learning anything, we're remembering what we already know. Everything that has ever happened, we have access to. We just simply need to remember. We need to choose to do so. And it's a really easy way to do this, is to just, none of us are perfect. All of us are going to have bad days, but when we try and maintain a higher frequency, we work on it, we set our intent to do so, it creates openings for us. It creates abilities, or it creates access to our abilities. If I was to lose my ability to speak light language, I would be crushed. It has transformed my life in ways I cannot even put into words. It's just, it is divine in nature. It should be used, it's a gift, an ability to share. It's for all of us. If you speak, you should share it. Share it with who your heart tells you to share it with. It's really, really important. The more you do this, the more we raise the fundamental frequency of this planet. We raise consciousness. By virtue of our intent, we raise the consciousness of this planet. By gatherings like this, by conversations between 2 people, 3 people, about those subjects, holding those frequencies and allowing ourselves, once again, to be vulnerable. And if we allow ourselves to be vulnerable in our ego mind, that opens a huge door to openness. Everything we ever need or will need is right here, inward. Everything external. We live in an external world. And the frequencies I'm expressing here are external. However, they tie us back to our true selves. They tie us back to our true essence, our souls, and our ability to communicate and connect with others just like us. You guys have been really, really awesome. Get a question?
Well, it's more of a statement. I've channeled Archangel Michael for many years, like 30-some years, and when you were doing the light language for Michael, I just felt this activation in my solar plexus in my heart, and I felt like I'm on the verge of like opening it up. It really.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So every time you spoke a language, it was
I love that. I absolutely love it. I've done activations for people and they come up to me 9 months later, John, I watched this thing again. I just got lit up again. I'm like, how cool is that? And then they do it once. I'm just kidding. Any other questions, guys? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last year at this event, we had visitors from Eceti, Australia, and Solretta Ontaria spoke to us in star language.
I guess you missed the beginning.
I did? Okay. Yeah, I did.
She was the one I spoke to on the phone.
Oh, you're the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm that guy. I've been that guy too, you know.
Yeah, I wondered if I missed.
Yes, Lori.
Can you speak to the therapeutic self-care? And you just brought up the listening to yourself, or when I listen to you again and again and again, the layers of change and the gifts that I receive from him are just really amazing. I'm now recording myself, and when I listen to myself again and again and again,
She activates herself. We can all do this. It's because what are you doing when you're meditating? When you're meditating, actually that one was a fly. But when you're meditating, what are you doing? You're looking to access higher aspects of yourself, right? So this is just a way of doing it. It's a tool that's inherent, again, in all of us. And if you use it in that way, what I found is, let's say I'm in a really bad mood or I get upset by something and I allow myself to get angry. And we all have these emotions. And it's, by the way, it's in my belief that our emotions are just as divine as any other aspect of ourselves. Allow ourselves to feel these emotions, acknowledge them, and then release them. Come back to it from a place of love. But to get there, it's not always easy. So what I'll do is I will go and immediately speak light language, and it changes my frequency at that instant. I no longer hold any of the negative. I just wash it right out of there, because what am I doing? I'm using a tool that's in my toolbox. It's a metaphysical tool. It's in the form of vibration, codes, and light, but it's a tool nonetheless. And I use it to wash my being. Now, I could do an activation for myself. The first couple of them, I did some voice recordings, and when I played it back, all the hair on my neck stood up, and I didn't realize that I was downloading to myself. But all this information that comes through is ultimately from my higher aspects and yours, which ultimately we go back into unity. So what are we? One. So ultimately, there are infinite dialects, but we all speak the same language. And I'm going to end on that.